Good day, and welcome to another edition of the Military and Foreign Affairs Network. I am your host, the voice of reason. Today, January 29th, 2022, we are continuing our coverage of the ongoing situation between Ukraine, Russia, and the West. And we're starting to get quite a bit of conflicting information coming out of the region, depending on what you're hearing and who you're hearing it from. So, I'm going to jump right into some of the news blurps of the mainstream and not so mainstream media outlets. And again, this is on a search of the Russian-Ukraine conflict. So first, and this is coming out of the New Voice of Ukraine. Moscow reported to have pulled some troops away from Ukraine. Interfax Ukraine, and this is very interesting. Ukrainian Defense Ministry calls messages about Moscow sending medical material to border with Ukraine information and ... Basically, this news outlet in Ukraine is saying that they hold little merit to that Reuters report and about the blood and blood plasma from Russian medical facilities being forward deployed for use in the event of conflict. So again, you have certain media outlets reporting apparent plans by Russia to launch that operation to include the deployment of some of these medical units and some of these medical resources and assets that would be paramount in the event of hostilities. And then here you have an internal Ukrainian source saying, yeah, that's hold on to your horses here. That's just not the case. Let's see here. Sky News. So again, now we're heading back over to Western media. He absolutely will do it. Why Putin seems poised to attack Ukraine. After one of the surest signs yet. And again, that surest sign yet is that report of coming out of Reuters where that blood and blood plasma was forward deployed near Ukraine. Let's see here. Mail Online. Putin allies say Russia will wipe out Ukraine military in just 48 hours. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see here. What else do we have? Voice of America. Ukraine, NATO differ on imminence of Russian attack. First News. PM says opposition partly responsible for Ukrainian crisis. It's coming out of Poland. New York Post. Boris Johnson to fly to Ukraine, hold crisis talks with Putin. iNews. Ukraine's pro-Kremlin rebels invited to join Russian military. And yeah, and there's the TRT World out of Turkey. Russia moves blood supplies near Ukraine amid invasion fears. So again, you kind of hear, especially which is really strange on the Ukrainian side of things. They appear to be, at least on the surface, really trying to play down this Russian buildup. Now, on the other hand, if you look at recent comments, especially out of or some of the reports coming out of that trusted news source, CNN, obviously they're saying something different. And apparently, from that conversation, that reported conversation between Biden and the Ukrainian president, apparently Biden told him that an invasion was imminent and it was going to happen. So again, the amount of information that is in the conflicting information that is coming out of the various media outlets are kind of astounding. And furthermore, on one hand, we hear about the possible pullback of Russian forces or elements of Russian units, and we believe that what they were talking about is possibly either the 2nd Motorized Rifle Division, which is based outside of Moscow, or elements of the 4th Tank Division outside of Moscow has reportedly completed training activities near the border and could be possibly pulling back. Now, with that being said, we continue to see a buildup of forces in Belarus. So there was excerpts from a Ukrainian Russian truck driver that goes back and forth, making deliveries between Belarus and Ukraine. And, uh, and again, I'm not sure if he was actually Ukrainian, Belarusian, or Russian. I guess it doesn't matter. But anyway, he was reporting that he was seeing large columns of Russian forces building up in long columns not too far from the Ukrainian border. Columns in kilometers in length that were building up. And also, furthermore, we've heard reports that more VDV, or the Russian airborne forces, were actively moving into Belarus. So more forces to include those fire brigades of the Russian military, the VDV, and specifically this unit was quoted, the 106th Airborne Division, specifically, quite possibly this unit here, based out of Ryazan, the 137th Airborne Regiment has reportedly been deployed to Belarus. And again, these forces, even though they're airborne, they do have the ability to operate in high-intensity mechanized warfare. And in fact, most of these units do contain armored fighting vehicles, and in some cases even tank companies or battalions attached to the divisions. And then another unit, another airborne unit, reportedly has been moved to Belarus, and that is the 98th Airborne Division. So we had anticipated at MFAN that these would be the last units that would be moved into place if there was a operation planned. And the reason for that is obviously these are the units that can get there the quickest and are usually at the highest state of readiness. So you would normally move these guys in last if you were planning any sort of an operation. But it looks like at least the force construct that they're putting in Belarus is really a decapitation strike force designed to move down both the east and the west side of the Dnieper River and threaten Kiev. Now, is that going to happen? Again, who knows? It's the conflicting information coming out is again incredibly remarkable, and again, really, no one knows what to make of it. The distrust that exists in a lot of these media resources, again, at least for me, is very hard to get my head around and believe a lot of what is saying until I actually physically see it myself. Now, I've had the opportunity to see some of the a lot of the information and videos that a lot of people have seen in terms of some of these forces rolling into Belarus and massing near the Ukrainian border. And yeah, it's definitely something is going on, and something fairly large appears to be happening. Now, will it happen? Again, very, very difficult to say at this point. But again, those are the major headlines for today. I think it is important to note that those airborne units have been forward deployed to Belarus, as they would be crucial in any high intensity combined arms operation, especially if they were looking to launch a decapitation strike and get into Kiev as quick as possible and seek a possible capitulation of the Ukrainian government. But that's what we have for today. We're going to continue to monitor and report. Have a good day, everybody.